said, wait a minute, are you telling me that you intentionally destroyed these people's lives, yada, yada? And the attorney's like, yeah. And the judge said, and what's your rationale behind this? And they're like, we don't have any. This is literally in the transcript.
Wait. Okay, Dee, did you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
Kind of both. I want to give you just a quick little background so you understand where the question is coming from.
Okay, go ahead.
So there was an incident. I have adult children that are above 21, and I also have a 7-year-old. And my 7-year-old is with my current mate who I reside with. So he and I were at home right after the COVID stuff began, and we had our 7-year-old, who's the issue, and one of my adult children came by and wanted to take her out. And because things were very unclear when COVID first started, we had both said no. That we didn't feel comfortable. We didn't have masks for everyone. We didn't have gloves. We weren't really certain what the circumstances of COVID were at the time. So my grown daughter got into an argument with my 7-year-old's father. And that argument escalated to the point where my grown daughter called her own father, and he, I believe, I suspect, not going to say for certain, contacted the police and filed a complaint over this verbal argument that they had that lasted all of 10 seconds. As a result, the police department wrote a report, but they wrote it incorrectly. They wrote that William had this argument with our 7-year-old and not with my adult child. So when juvenile detectives contacted me, I talked to them about it, and they said, oh, I get it. Total mistake. The names are mixed up. It didn't make sense when I read the report. I'm going to clarify this. I'm going to get this out of your way. No problem. DCFS shows up at my house. I explain the same thing to them. They're like, oh, we get it. They checked with the police department, found out that there was a mistake in the report, and said they were closing the case.
Okay, that's a good thing.
6 weeks went by. 6 weeks. And they showed up out of nowhere, not one phone call, not one email, nothing from them. Said it was an emergency. They were removing my daughter. And they took her.
How old is she?
And I'm like, what the? I mean, it was ridiculous. It took, I think, 7 or 8 days. We had a court date. They made William leave the house in order for me to come, in order to get my 7-year-old back. So I got her back, and I told them, you know, now this puts me in a predicament because I am a disabled individual. I'm on a limited income. So him leaving the house means I can't pay the rent. I can't pay the electric bill. I, don't know how I'm going to keep the lights on. I'm barely going to be able to afford food. And they're like, yeah, you're going to have to figure that out. So I did everything I could. I contacted every social service place, and, I did all that I could. I couldn't get any assistance. The thing, it was like 6 months they wanted him to be gone. And they gave him permission to go to the garage, which is a separate space from the home, to collect his belongings from periodically, as long as he had no contact with myself or Kenzie, our 7-year-old. Sorry, I named her. And so he did that, and 99% of the time I wasn't even at the house. In fact, DCFS would locate me in other areas, like at the park or at the grocery store. They'd come and find me when they thought he was at the house. And so they knew I wasn't around him, and Kenzie was not around him. But she did talk to him all the time, and because she's so young, she didn't understand that, the difference between phone call versus in person. Like, she just automatically said, yeah, I saw my dad because she saw him on FaceTime. So, long story short, we had a hearing in December, and the attorney for DCFS said, yeah, we lied, we made this up, and the judge said, wait a minute, are you telling me that you intentionally destroyed these people's lives, yada, yada? And the attorney's like, yeah, and the judge said, and what's your rationale behind this? And they're like, we don't have any. This is literally in the transcript.
Wait, hold on a second, stop.
Okay.
This is in the transcript?
It's in the transcript.
Are you sure?
I'm 1,000% sure.
Okay.
Because my attorney recorded the entire conversation.
Who's your attorney? Oh, don't mention. Don't say any names. I'm sorry.
Name her. Yeah. But she's court appointed.
Okay. Get a pencil. Write this down because we're running out of time tonight. 888-652-888-888-6582.
Oh, that's your number.
Right.
That's your number? I've actually left several messages. I was expecting a call from you for like the last month.
All right, so I want you
I was actually hoping.
I want you to call that number tomorrow and ask whoever answers to connect you to me, because I do want to talk to you about this, okay?
Yeah, this is pretty important because now they took my daughter and they've refused my visitation.
Okay, hold on.
And it's been months.
You don't have to talk. We don't have to talk anymore. You call me tomorrow. It's Sunday, I know, but call afternoon and tell the person who answers that we spoke yesterday on the phone on the radio show and that I wanted you to be connected to me. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
You got it. I appreciate your time.
All righty. That's it for this evening. We've run out of time. Cynthia, anything you want to say before we sign off?
Absolutely. If you're needing an attorney in your state, make sure you head over to cpsattorneyrolodex.com, put your information in, and when we have an attorney in your state, we will let you know. And if you are interested in being interviewed on the horror stories, go ahead and reach out to us on our Facebook page, the reality series, CPS The Horror Stories. Sounds great, Cynthia. Cynthia, thank you for co-hosting with me tonight. We're going to see, and everyone that called in and we couldn't get to, please call in next week at, right at the beginning of the show so you can get in the queue online. A lot of people call in and we don't have enough time to get to everyone. So jump in line early and we'll see you next week on the radio.